Okay, here's my audience. Please sit down. Are you tattling? I don't need to hear your excuses. As an education major, you have to say these things many times, and I know as an elementary student, you're used to hearing your teachers say that. When I was now that I'm an education major and I'm also a lead teacher of a summer camp, I have said these things more times than I can count. Between making lesson plans, knowing your students individually, and knowing that all kids have different learning abilities, teaching is an exhausting job. I really hope to educate you on what goes into teaching and how educators are working to better your kids every single day. Making lesson plans is a very long and detailed process. And if it's not done correctly, then your kids are not learning the material that they should be. One website I found, it's called worksheetlibrary.com, is a good example on why we should become educators. One of the examples was that it sounds like it's so easy, but it actually takes a lot of time. When you're making a lesson plan, you have to be prepared for any and every type of. You have to be prepared for anything and everything that's going to happen. And if don't have a template and ready for every situation, then you could really struggle. I know my first summer, we had an issue in the morning of our class, and because we had taken time and had other things planned, if something had gone wrong, if we hadn't done that, it would have been mass chaos. Also, when you're making lesson plans, you have a special template that you have to follow. And in this template, you have to have all of your standards met, and you have to have how this certain subject will be used in a different subject, and they can work together to help your kids understand. Another thing that people don't understand that teachers are doing is that you have to know that every single one of your students is different. When you have kids that have a ton of different personalities, it makes it difficult to learn because some kids are learning certain ways and the others are learning others. You have to know and be ready to provide for every type of kid that you have in your classroom. You also have to know that your students have different type of home lives. When you have a kid who's struggling to learn in the classroom, there might be something else going wrong at home, and you have to be willing to put forth that effort and know what their home life is. Lastly, you have to know that every kid has different learning abilities. Some kids are very visual learners, while other kids are very physical learners, and you have to, when making your templates, you have to have all of those different options so that when you have one kid who can learn great because you're showing him how to do it on the board, but other kids have to be able to use tools or toys to understand it better. You have to be willing to help your students because since they have so many different learning abilities, some days you feel like you're not getting anywhere. You'll feel frustrated, and teachers have to be able to have that calmness about them to make sure that their students are getting through whatever they're trying to learn. When you get frustrated, your kids will definitely feed off of it, but when you keep your positivity, they feed off of that, and they're encouraged, and they want to learn more, and so their mind is open to hearing all of what you have to teach them. And on umbmentoring.com, they have a great article on how teacher-to-child relationships in elementary school is so important, because that relationship between a teacher and a child is an influence through the rest of their life. In conclusion, I really hope that you could shed light on the fact that teachers are very looked over, and that when making lesson plans and having that personal connection with your students and understanding their best and their worst ways of learning is so important in today's society, and that teachers really put in a lot of effort and work to make your kids better and to make them excited about learning. Thank you.